Sean Capri. I'm glad you're here because you're listening to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my friend Brian Murford. He's the weatherman on the moose, and on our journey today, dollar days are back at McDonald's, baby, and there's a PlayStation showcase, but that's not for this show. We're going to talk about Mortal Kombat, and I played Dead Space, and I'm in a great mood, so I hope you guys will jump on into the Xbox Drive. Blah, 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 blah.
No power greater than X.
Hello, Sean Capri.
It's PlayStation Showcase Day.
PlayStation Showcase Day. I thought
there's nothing happening in Xbox Land. It's PlayStation Showcase Day.
It's PlayStation Showcase Day. For people who want the reference or the comment, by the way. There's a video on our Twitter, twitter.com/carpoolgaming, that Matt posted a little bit earlier. Very, very nice video. You should go watch it.
Very nice video. Dude, he's like crawling around on his floor. He's in his, if you want to see,
spoiler for the people, they should go watch it. So we
go watch it. Go watch it. It's very fun.
Good video.
Yes, I appreciated Matt's energy. Like, I'd like to think that was once me. Maybe that's not me anymore. Maybe it can be once again. So shout out to Matt for inspiring me with his creativity and his energy. And here we are. We're going to do the Xbox podcast. There is no Xbox show today, but there will be here on youtube.com/carpoolgaming. If you're listening to the podcast, it already happened. There's reactions on the feed. It's a whole thing, Ryan Turford.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be watching the PlayStation Showcase later in the later today, of course, with Matt and Court, and it's going to be awesome. So look out for that. If you're watching the live stream right now, 4:00 Eastern Daylight Time. Come back here, youtube.com/carpoolgaming. We'll be watching the PlayStation Showcase. But again, that's not what we're going to talk about today. Although we have questions about the PlayStation Showcase.
Okay, maybe a little
later. So maybe a little. But before I even get to the cleaning the garage section, Sean, I have to, item number one on my checkbox of things to talk about today, Dollar Drink Days are back at McDonald's, Sean.
Dollar Drink Days are back. Oh, I've already had a Diet Coke. I even had an iced coffee today, Ryan Turford. It's only 12 o'clock my time, and I'm all ready to go. You might notice a difference in me today. I might be a little more electrified, I might be a little overtired, underslept, over-caffeinated, ready to talk about X. I played a game this week. Life is good, man. Life is good. Yeah, man. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, well, the weather outside is it's kind of cloudy.
As soon as I answered,
like 13 degrees outside. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm doing okay, Sean. As we'll get to when we get to the playlist section of the show, I've kind of just been living my best life, doing kind of what I feel like doing. And that's going to definitely reflect in the games I played this week, which we're going to have a ball with in a little bit. But yes, Dollar Drink Days are back. Of course, our friends McDonald's Canada, of course, follow us on Twitter. So giving them the extra special shout out as well. Also, shout to Splenda Canada, by the way, who hasn't unfollowed us yet on Twitter as well.
Let's just go for it, man. Let's just go for it. Absolutely.
All right, Sean, let's quickly clean the garage and get into the show. So, folks at home, if you want to support the show, there's a number of awesome ways to do that. If you're watching the live stream right now, over at youtube.com/carpoolgaming, or if you're watching the video on demand later, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Because come on, what are you doing if you haven't subscribed already? We're only 25 subs away, Sean.
Holy.
From 1,500 subs. So we're getting there. Nice. We want to hit that goal as ASAP. So if you haven't subscribed already, you can definitely try and get us there. So shout out to you as well. Also, let us know in the comments below if you're excited that Dollar Drink Days are back at McDonald's.
Yeah.
As well. Also, if you want the audio for this podcast a little bit early, or if you want one big audio feed that has all the podcasts for Carpool Gaming, or some exclusive content, you can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Carpool Gaming, just like ScheiGuy did. Joined at the gold tier. Thank you, ScheiGuy.
I love gold. Thank you, ScheiGuy. We're going to carry this on. For those who please listen to the Nintendo Drive, there's a through line, Ryan. Like, we are the MCU of podcasts. Like, we all kind of like reference each other. There's things that happen. You got to see and listen to everything to get the whole story. But if not, you can still enjoy things on their own. But this is one of those. There's references throughout, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this is going to probably carry into Sunday with RPG Cave this week, Sean. Where we will also
bet your bottom dollar, my friend.
Say a huge thank you to ScheiGuy for
joining
at the gold tier. Also, I want to point out the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast just launched a new episode with Seth. He did his own episode. And that's pretty exciting to see some of the other hosts come in. So if you haven't been, again, teaching up with Patreon, jump on in. Come on the Patreon pool. It's actually kind of nice there. Water.
Sweet Hangs is over there for the exclusive tier as well. 3.5 hours. Me and Donnie talk about that there. Zelda, talk about his Walkman that he has apparently. It's a digital Walkman. We talk about all sorts of stuff, man. Donnie Reese from PSVG. Shout out to Donnie. At the Nintendo Drive post show. Dude, like how much have we launched this week?
It's too much.
I think this might be a mistake somewhere. I think we might have done too much.
We may have, undercharged, but that's okay, Sean. We're gonna get through this. But otherwise, Sean, I think we gotta grab our 8-tracks, pop them in. It's time about the playlist. And Sean, your entry is blank because I'm pretty sure you've just been playing Zelda, but I know playing another Xbox game. So tell me about that one.
I didn't play a lot of Zelda this week. I've played Dead Space, Ryan. Dead Space remake, thanks to my local library. I just had to, all I had to do is go pick it up, Brian. That was it.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that everybody played however many months ago. You played through this almost like instantly. I think probably same day you were done.
I never finished it, actually. I was playing day one. No, we talked about it on the show, but honestly, it felt so similar to the original Dead Space.
I agree with you. Yeah.
That at the time it came out, I just wasn't in the mood to replay Dead Space. So I was like, okay, well, I played it, so we could talk about it on the show. Cause at the time I had that mindset.
Yep.
I was like, I was perfectly content with putting it down and be like, you know what? I'm not personally feeling this right now, despite the fact that I recognize that this is an amazing game. And I know it'll be there waiting for me when I decide to come back to it later.
It was waiting for me, Ryan. And I agree with all of those things that you said. And now is like, for whatever reason, even though Zelda is here and Diablo is nearly here, I even have a PC Gamer magazine with Diablo on the cover. I'm excited to dive into this. I'm excited for Diablo. Dead Space is excellent. And I know I'm not saying anything revolutionary. I know people know this, but people need a reminder every once in a while. One of the things Donnie and I talked about on Sweet Hangs was just this notion. We feed into it in podcast land, I think, too. Whenever we're only talking about the stuff that's new, like today, stuff that still matters that happened yesterday gets completely lost. And Dead Space is one of those things. There's countless other examples of this sort of thing in video game land. And I'm about halfway through Dead Space. The one thing I will say, this sort of like as a caveat to like I'm not having the absolute best time, is like it's not as scary as I remember it. Yeah. Like and maybe it's just because I know how to handle everything.
Well, Dead Space is more about like jump scares and less about like overall the tone being creepy.
Right. But it's still like I'm kind of watching what's happening with this admiration. Instead of being frightened by it, I'm just like, oh, look at that great monster design, or like this weapon is so good. The level design is really good. And it's very dark. It's definitely like the lighting and the shadows it definitely works to its benefit. But I'm playing this, Ryan, with the plasma, the cutter, the first weapon. That's it. I'm only just doing that one.
Okay.
Paullin says Dead Space was never scary.
Yeah.
I totally disagree. I think that when I first played Dead Space, it was terrifying for me.
I don't know. I always look at Dead Space as like in the same lens as the Resident Evil games as far as scariness, where it's not like, I don't feel like it's out to scare you. I feel like it's out to have some tense moments. Especially if you are, limited on ammo and you are going for the achievement that you're going for right now, Sean, where you just use the plasma cutter, it leads to some tense moments, but I don't feel like it's trying to overbearingly be scary. Like I never thought that was really like, I never came up with that takeaway from the original game either.
Well, you guys are all just tougher than me then, I guess, because I was sweating in my old man recliner chair the first time I played this. This time around, it's like I know what I'm in for. Like there's not really even the jump scares. I kind of see them coming, like you know the drill sort of thing. But like by you only using the plasma cutter, number one, you got to be careful with your ammo. So obviously like that survival horror kind of element there. But then also like I wouldn't have been using stasis or the gravity thing. Like you can manipulate them. You can kind of hold them in midair, kind of like the gravity gun, like from Portal or Half-Life 2, if you like. And I'm enjoying that a whole lot. Like if I can get one of those arms or limbs dismembered, then I can pick it up and I can shoot it right in their stupid face. And basically it's like the penetrator from Fear and Fear 2, my friend. Like it's just a throwback. Oh, I gotta
No,
play
it's a
those
good way
games.
to conserve ammo for sure.
I put stasis and I stomp the crap out of them. Like the stomping is unmatched. Why don't we have more stomping in games?
I know
Holy
they
cow.
tried it with Gears, and then no one else did the stomping. Aren't they? I guess Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal have stomping as well.
Sort of, yeah, with the glory kills.
Yeah, but it's not like you don't have like a dedicated stomp button.
It's a dedicated stomp button, like, and it is vicious. So I'm enjoying it. It's a good romp, you know. And I don't know if I don't feel like I'm getting anything particularly new out of it. I'm glad I'm playing it. I'm glad this thing exists and has prompted me to revisit Dead Space, because as it just turns out, I don't know if we celebrated it enough when the game first came out. It's one of the best games ever made. I'm just going to go out and say it. I think Dead Space is, I don't know, top 50, top 100. It's on the list of most notable. It was
number 2 on the roundabout list.
There you go.
Xbox 360 games. So
it's so good, man.
People should play it. I agree with that, you know, that standpoint, Sean, where I do think it is, you know, one of the best survival horror games ever made. The only, and you know, honestly, with the remake, the only thing that was disappointing for me is I almost wish that they did more with it. Like they tried to do more things with it in the way that Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4 remake did, where even though they kind of feel like they have the spirit of the original games and the frame rate of the original games, they switch things up. And that's one of the things I really like about those remakes. And I kind of wish Dead Space remake did a little bit more of it, which is part of the reason why I ended up putting it down, was because I was really feeling like it was just the same experience again.
Yep.
But with, you know, nicer visuals and tighter controls, and the asteroid sequence was way easier this time around, which is
like
nice.
where you're setting the guns, the ADS thing. Yeah.
No, like when you're shooting the asteroids with the gun. Yeah. It's it was very annoying in the original.
It was
game.
easy. You're right. It was, I almost like overplayed it. Yeah. Actually, I'm about halfway through. Yeah, I'm about halfway through this game, and I have high intentions on finishing. It's not terribly long, and yeah, I don't know, man. I could go on and on about this game, but people should play. Give me Dead Space 2 remake. When, EA, can we expect Dead Space 2 remake? What are you going to do with it? And can I just say, I don't know if this is insensitive to say. This might be like, maybe we're just getting Carpool Gaming canceled. I might have missed something with the first one. I don't mean this to be insensitive, but I thought Isaac Clarke was black in the like when I played it the first time. Did he take off his mask ever? Like, I pictured him as a black guy.
He takes off his mask at the end of the game. Like
I don't know why I pictured him that way.
And he actually, no, he has his mask off at the very beginning of the game too.
At the first game?
Yeah. He has his mask, but you don't really see his face. You see the
plain old guy.
But yeah, he was white in the first game.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. I thought this was a revelation. He seems to take off his mask a lot. He's just a boring character.
Well, they definitely did that more.
I wish he didn't say anything.
Yeah,
I actually, because he was silent, right? Like that was what I'm remembering from the first one. He was totally silent. I prefer it. You don't need to talk. You're kind of boring. Don't really care about Isaac Clarke as a boring.
But they had him talk a lot in Dead Space 2, which is why I think they had him.
But he had better things to say in Dead Space 2. But you're right. Like to go now back to the remake, you gotta have some continuity there. That makes sense. So give us Dead Space 2. It's so good. It's great. I'm glad I'm
like very certain, especially with the success of Dead Space remake, that they're going to do Dead Space 2 at some point, but it'll probably be, you know, a couple of years.
It's like a guarantee, isn't it? Like I feel, why wouldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's EA though. I never.
That's true. You never know. That's who knows?
Yeah. But anyways. Yeah. So also you played Zelda, but we won't talk about that.
That's it. Dragon Ball Kakarot is also from the library. I don't think I'm going to play PGA Tour as we discussed last week. Yeah. But I renewed my rental from the library on Dragon Ball Kakarot. Nobody else is vying for it right now, Ryan. So we'll see that next. And then Diablo. Life is good. We're playing all the fun games.
It's going to be great. All right. So as for me, Sean, I have a long list because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've been living my best life with my games because, you know, it's one of those things where Diablo comes out next Thursday because I have like the edition that gets me, you know, 4 days early access to Diablo. So I don't want to start anything big. It's part of the reason why I opened Zelda. But I never started it because
hang on a second. Can you just say that statement one more time? Just so I got you correctly. I don't want to play anything big. That's why I played Zelda.
I said I opened the Zelda Collector's Edition for that video that went up, but I never actually played it. Because I knew I wouldn't be able I wouldn't finish it by the time Diablo 4 came out.
Gotcha.
So Diablo 4 is kind of the next big game for me that I'm like super excited about. So,
are you pre-ordering? Like, are you playing early on this thing?
I will be playing and live streaming the game. I'm going to say it right now. I'm pinning this to people mark their calendars. June 1st. June 1st, I will be playing Diablo 4.
Crystal clear.
I have the version that is out, early, and I will be playing it on live stream.
June 1st. And what did that take? Okay, because I'm loading up BattleNet. It might kill the stream here. And did you buy it on PC? Because you have a nice beefy PC there now, Ryan.
I played the beta, and actually I found that it ran slightly smoother on Xbox, so I'm playing.
Ooh,
well, because I haven't updated my RAM yet on my PC, and I'm not going to do that in time for Diablo 4.
How much RAM are we talking about? What do you got? What do you got under?
I only have 16 in my PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could up. Those are rookie numbers. You could up those numbers a little bit.
Yeah, I need, because that's the thing that's kind of bottlenecking a lot of PC games that I play currently is the 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, and it's DDR4, not DDR5. So,
oh my gosh,
so it's just like a lot of games kind of choke on the RAM specifically. So I have it on Xbox, but it's crossplay, so it doesn't matter what platform you get it
on.
Oh,
good. Is it crossplay? It never has been crossplay
and cross progression.
Oh my goodness
it's just
gracious!
The beta itself wasn't crossplay, but the actual factual game will be. So
actual factuals.
Yeah. Okay. So I will actually be streaming it next Thursday. I'm very excited about it, and we will definitely be playing it. If anyone else has it, by the way, next week, hit me up because we'll play together.
I just have one question about this, and I'll let you continue on. Is it you have to get the Ultimate Edition to get early access? Is that the deal?
Any version besides the base one.
Okay, so digital deluxe. I'm trying to click on it here. Pre-purchase. Oh, look at this. It's clear as day, Ryan. I just clicked on it. Pre-purchase digital deluxe or ultimate edition and get up to 4 days early access. So for the low price of 120 Canadian dollars, well, get the digital
there's
deluxe.
That. It's just I knew I was going to get the battle pass anyways because I'm weak, Sean. So because I know how much because I put 30 hours into the beta already. I know I'm going to sink a ton of time into this game, so it's just like, yeah, for me it made sense to do that.
I'm tempted. I am tempted.
It also gives me 6 days to play it before Street Fighter comes out. So
good God,
there is also that too. So that plays a little bit into that decision making. But because of that, getting back to the games I've been playing this week, I didn't want to start anything big, coming into Diablo, because I didn't want to, be playing something else before Diablo comes in. So I played a whole bunch of other stuff, including, of course, I'm preparing for next week's episode of Pit Stop Retro Gaming, which will be live May 30th, 9 a.m. on the YouTube channel. I played a bunch of Alien games, Sean. I got them
Look
here.
I
played Alien Colonial Marines. I played Alien Predator Extinction on the original Xbox. This, of course, is like an Alien real-time strategy game, Sean, because of course it is. But so I played those. I also went back to Alien Isolation, Sean, because I needed footage for Alien Isolation because I, for some reason, didn't have that on my hard drive. So I went back to that. I played Aliens on the MSX this week, which is like a Japanese computer game. It's the Square Soft made Aliens game. I played that. I played a whole bunch of Alien games, but I'm not going to talk about those two either because, again, Pit Stop Retro Gaming on the YouTube channel. Come back and watch.
That's a good little video series you got going there, Ryan Turford. You're in your element on that one.
I wanted to, make sure to also give it its nice little plug here. Also, though, Sean,
also
you may have noticed last night I rocked out because I have been playing Rock Band 4, pulling it out.
You have everything. You have all the physical stuff around you. Like there's so much stuff for you to grab.
I came prepared for today's show.
This is so good.
So of course, I had forgotten that I had "I Stand Alone" by Godsmack as one of the DLC songs. For Rock Band, so I actually put in the Discord last night to tag I tagged you and Seth in it and be like, "I stand alone."
I love it.
I of course had to play that last night, but I played a ton of Rock Band songs, and I think I'm back on the Rock Band train because this just happens every once in a while, Sean, where I'm just like, you just get really in the mood for Rock Band.
Yeah.
So I usually just pull out bust out the guitar. I also have the
get in the mood, but you pull out. Okay.
I have the keyboard across the room. I have my mic as well, and I just jam out and have a ton of fun playing Rock Band 4. I have 560 songs in Rock Band, John.
Rock Band might be the game, and Guitar Hero is exactly the same, obviously, where you just lose time. Like I'll just do like one song, and like you don't realize, these are 4-minute songs, 5-minute songs in some cases, and like all of a sudden gone. Like it's 2 a.m. I just love it. I'm so glad you're playing it. What a good just like celebration of video games,
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And also speaking of a nice celebration of video games, Sean, because I played those Aliens games I played them on Xbox 360, by the way. I went down the rabbit hole of playing Xbox 360 games this week. So I played a whole bunch of them, and I just want to do quick highlights on some of these. I replayed Marble Blast Ultra, which is a game where you play as a marble. This was actually an Xbox 360 launch title on XBLA, where you play as a marble and you have to get through these obstacle courses. It kind of reminds me of Marble Madness from the NES, but in 3D form. And fun story, I think I mentioned this on a previous episode of the Xbox Wrap, but I'll mention it again. Back in the day, they used to do these like play date with via Xbox Live days where they would have a celebrity come in and play in a game. So there was one of those. I actually played Marble Blast Ultra with Rihanna one day over voice chat, and it was like one of the funnest afternoons I ever had playing video games online. It was so fun. So there you go. That's my Marble Blast Ultra story. I also played Rock Band Blitz. Speaking of Rock Band, which is the Rock Band game that doesn't use any instruments. So you actually play it only with controller. And what you do is you've got these 5 lanes, one for each instrument. And you basically switch between them throughout the songs to build up these multipliers.
You're like a one-man band.
Exactly. It's very reminiscent of the game Amplitude from Harmonix that they did on the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 as well. So very, very fun game to go back to. Nice. I also played Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because I was feeling the Mortal Kombat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it in a second, but Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, super fun game, but it also is very annoying because it's one of those games where the achievement points you get 4 achievement points.
Unacceptable.
And 7
absolutely unacceptable.
One. Yeah.
Dude, as soon as I get one of those, I get whatever achievement I can get to round it out, and then I'm out. Like that, I will throw that disc across the street. I'll put it in the sewer. I'll put it in a trash compactor. I'll put it in the drain, damn it. The car what is it called when you flip the thing and the carburetor. And the thing that carburetes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The fact that you didn't even get to the point where you said the
man.
And you did it in a joking fashion. Just it's too much.
Court Lalonde says he has way too much time on his hand.
Oh, I'm not even finished yet. There's more. So I also played, because made sure to play some games that got delisted. So I played Marvel vs. Capcom as well as X-Men, the arcade game, on my Xbox 360 because you can't get those games anymore, but they're still super fun. And I, luckily purchased them back.
So these are discs that you have, or
no, they're XBLA games.
Okay, and are you playing on 360 hardware, or are you playing on? Yeah,
my 360's on a shelf right next to me.
What 360? Like what version is it? The OG, the or like an S? Or
I have the Xbox 360e, Sean. So
nice.
That's the one that looks like the Xbox One.
Yes,
yeah, so it's got that VCR style. But Sean, eventually I'll play this game on my Xbox 360. I haven't played it yet.
What do you do? Like you're the worst of this committed relationship, man. This Dark Angel saying, "Oh my god."
This just shows my approach to committed relationships, Sean.
I'm realizing in this moment, as we're talking about 360, I don't know if it's in the notes here. I don't think it is. I don't know if you want to talk at all about the 10-year anniversary of the Xbox One being announced. They had the whole like that clip. Sports TV sports was going on. But at one point, like, I don't know, we gotta find some sort of anniversary because we need an excuse just to talk about the 360 at some point.
Well, actually, my plan for that was we talk about the Xbox One or 360 on their actual anniversary, so in November rather than now.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Because so we're coming up. We're coming up on that Xbox One 10-year anniversary is this year. It's this November. So I think we should plan something up for November, Sean.
All right. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Yep. It'll come up. Yeah.
Also, I have one more game I played, but I'm going to save it for this first news story because it ties into it.
Oh,
so
nice.
Slam the brakes on the conversation. It's time for some breaking news. Because WB, we talked about this a little bit on last week's show. We speculated a little bit, but WB finally announced Mortal Kombat 1. It will launch on September 19th on Xbox Series X and S. It is not coming to Xbox One, so this is going to be a Series X and S kind of exclusive title. But contrary to popular belief, this is not a full reboot of the series. This is actually just Mortal Kombat 12, but they're calling it Mortal Kombat 1 because the story actually follows the end of Mortal Kombat 11. Basically, so the other game I played this week to kind of refresh myself, Sean, Mortal Kombat 11 plus the Aftermath DLC. It had been a very long time since I played the campaign for Mortal Kombat 11. But basically, toward at the end of that campaign, like Liu Kang becomes Fire God Liu Kang, and he gets control of the Sands of Time, and he has to kind of rebuild the Mortal Kombat timeline, and that's kind of how it ends. And there's more that kind of links into what we saw in the trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. So it is all connected. It is definitely a more direct sequel to Mortal Kombat 11 that I was kind of expecting this to be, where I thought maybe this is going to be like a full like reboot of Mortal Kombat, but it doesn't appear to be the case. It's going to be a continuation. So I will say Mortal Kombat 11 is currently on sale if you want the version that includes everything for 11 Canadian dollars at the moment.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
I would recommend if you are at all interested in Mortal Kombat 1, you should play Mortal Kombat 11's campaign.
But hang on a second, Ryan Turford. What's this cameo fighter business going on? I'm hearing all about. Is this Marvel versus Capcom style? Am I tagging somebody in? They're going to give you a little shot to the face and then jump back off screen. What's going on?
So they're not going to be characters you tag in like Marvel versus Capcom, where you don't take control of the other character. Mm-hmm. You basically will press a button and they will come in and do like a special move to assist with it. Because I had forgotten about this until replaying Mortal Kombat 11 this week. But in the Aftermath DLC, they actually teased this a little bit because you have 2 fights in that DLC, because you do about 15 fights in total in that DLC, but 2 of the fights in particular, you have assigned to the right stick. If you press that button in any direction, it'll summon like an alternate fighter that comes in and does a special move. And that's then cool. They pop out again.
And are these regularly playable characters, or are they people who that's the only way you'll see them is as a cameo character?
They actually said it's going to be a mix of both. So there are going to be non-playable characters that will be in there, as well as, you can pick anyone from the main roster as well, if you like them.
Court Lalonde in the chat says you can do that type of move in Injustice. I think it's great. Yep. I think it just makes it that, give me a little something else to dive into here. I'm so curious, Ryan. It sounds like what you're saying to me is what I was hoping for maybe last week or the week before may not be the case, which was maybe a different style, different engine, different feel to Mortal Kombat. Like for me, I was looking for that, but I know there's way more people who have come to know and love that feel. That it's a very heavy feel. It's very almost like Gears of War. Like on a 2D plane kind of thing.
Yeah, it does feel a little more clunky versus something like Street Fighter or Marvel versus Capcom or Guilty Gear.
It's just intentional. Like it just seems to me like I actually need to know what I'm doing. Like I can't just.
I think it's more methodical than those other games, where you have to be a little more strategic with your moves. I just really hope that one of the things that they decided to, because Ed Boon's talked about this on Twitter. Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, mentioned that with this game, there will be some changes to the way the game plays this time around. So what I am hoping is I hope that they get rid of a lot of the moves that are, back, forward, and then a button, because I always find that on modern D-pads, those are very hard to pull off and are kind of annoying. And none of that too, there's also a lot of holding, like you hold back for 2 seconds and then you press forward. It's just like those moves just slow things down, and I agree like that. So I hope that whatever tweaks that they're going to make to the combat with a K, of course, the combat with a K, that they improve the speed of the combat a little bit, because it definitely, like going back and playing it this week, Sean, versus playing the Street Fighter beta, which I didn't mention, but I also played as well. Like that.
You mentioned Marble, whatever the hell, and you didn't talk about the Street Fighter 6 beta. That's a choice.
Well, right? I didn't play the Street Fighter beta for that long because it was playing against other people, and that's not actually what I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. So I played it a little bit just to play with the different characters and get a feel for them, but I kind of put it down pretty quickly.
That's fair.
But the gameplay in Street Fighter 6, just with the battles themselves, just move so much faster, and I hope that Mortal Kombat speeds up just a little bit.
Yes, I agree. Mortal Kombat is going to be featured during Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest pretty soon here. Do we have a date, Ryan? When is this thing coming out?
June 8th, and it's in the evening.
Oh, for the presentation. I'm sorry. Then I tacked on a second question, which is the release date for this video game, Mortal Kombat 1.
It is coming out September 19th.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have one other thing to talk about on this, Ryan. You and I need to get serious, okay? Like I took some time off from the show and doing content and everything else. And meanwhile, Mr. Badbit, the host over there at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, which doesn't really deserve your attention or listen or.
What are you talking about? They're the best podcast on the internet. I already knew this.
Have you seen what Matt was doing today? Matt Sawinski from the PlayStation Drive hyping up its PlayStation Showcase Day. Like, dude, the guys at the PlayStation Drive, they're crushing it. And anyways, I need to talk about Badbit. I see you in the chat. I see what you're doing. And I just need to say this, Ryan. We need to get our stuff together. Okay? Like part of this has been just Joe over on the Trophy Room, just talking smack and these guys suck and blah, blah. They've already lost and blah, blah, blah. I ain't taking it laying down anymore. Okay. I don't need to shoot shots back over there. I don't want to, if he's going to go low, we're going to go high, but we got to get our stuff together because I have currently Mortal Kombat in our Carpool Gaming host Fantasy Critic. We did not pick up Mortal Kombat in ours against the Trophy Room. And how has this happened? And I'm not gonna point fingers. We're not looking in the past, but like we've got to get our stuff together.
It's true. We haven't actually made a move in a very long time. Mm-hmm. I've got some options here, which of course we won't, talk about publicly because Joe is right here.
Sure.
But they're currently
picked up Humanity just now. They got 86 on Humanity.
Yeah. I will. So just to give the listeners who have not been keeping up with this saga, Trophy Room versus the Xbox Drive over Fantasy Critic. We are currently down 60 points to the Trophy Room. And they've released 2 more games than us, but we have a big segment coming up, Sean, because we have System Shock Remake, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, and Homeworld 3, and they're all like the next 5 games that are coming out. And those are probably
Homeworld
like 5 of our
is our dark horse. That's the one nobody was. That was a special to us.
Yeah.
Little pick there. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
we need to counter one of theirs though.
I already have one in mind. We'll talk about it after the show.
I see. Okay.
I already 100% have one to look.
All right. I just wanted to bring it up because we haven't talked about it. So of course we haven't been on our A game with it. Yeah. We just set it and forget it.
And part of it is also like, there's not we are behind currently, Sean, but it's also one of those things where it's like, it's better to wait until we find out more information that from Summer Game Fest or the PlayStation Showcase or the Xbox Showcase before making too many big moves. I think.
You know what? Counterpick Oxenfree. I don't know what you're actually thinking, and I'm not saying that we're actually going to do this.
I have one that's 100% lock.
I think Oxenfree is a 73. I think Oxenfree is a 70.
I got one better. I'll get one. In fact, right. Sean, I have one that will lose us no points. Guaranteed.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Also, slight correction, Sean. You have Mortal Kombat 1 in the Carpool Gaming community. I have it in the host league.
Oh, snap. That flipped. Maniacal laugh over here. That's hilarious.
I stooped it up Mortal Kombat. I've got Diablo 4. I got, Silent Hill 2 remake, which I'm expecting to see today at the PlayStation Showcase. I'm sitting pretty good. Someone's got to beat Courtland Lone in our league, Sean. And man, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to beat Court.
I gotta pay attention to PSVG over here as well. I'm in a league over there. I counterpicked Hades 2 because I didn't think it was gonna happen. I think I'm doing good there. I had Dead Cells Return to Castlevania for 7. It got 87. That was a good pick. Atelier Ryza, Ryan, which I also had in the league with you. It's got me 12 points. I got Diablo 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta get back to my Fantasy Critic over here. Okay.
We got it. Sean, we got to move on because we got more stuff to talk about on the show. But either way, Mortal Kombat 1, by the way, that trailer was awesome. Yes. I can't wait for that game. It's going to be great. In September, already looking great. We got Starfield and Mortal Kombat and maybe Spider-Man 2 that month. Like, it's going to be awesome.
Yep. Time to quit our jobs, everybody.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Ubisoft surprised us this morning with an announcement that Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake, will not be at Ubisoft Forward but the game is still in development, but it's now being developed by Ubisoft Montreal, and the development process has been restarted.
Good. That's a good team. They got this. That's the right team for that job. Yes.
Yeah.
They will come through.
I think this is great news, and I'm glad that they came out and just said this ahead of time before Ubisoft Forward, before all the questions came in, because at this point we know that it's, this is probably years away at this point. Like if development is just restarting now, because they said it's in the conceptual phase, which means that they're like bringing in
drawing pictures.
It's pre-alpha phase at this point. So
it's okay. It's okay. Take your time. We've got other things to play. It's fine. I don't want to get into doomsday territory over here. Ryan, Star Wars Ubisoft game is not happening this year.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure that was a thing. It was that. Did you not hear this? Maybe. Well, did you hear about this? We can do a quick fact check. I'm pretty sure I saw 2024 is what was happening there.
I know it's listed for fiscal year 2024, which is basically releasing before March 2024. But that's it. That's all.
Bad Bit in the chat says, they confirmed it's April next year. Yeah, I thought I saw that. Yes.
Okay.
So they counterpicked that successfully for us, which is unfortunate, but I can't wait for that one. I'm looking forward.
Again, I wouldn't necessarily count it out just yet until after Ubisoft Forward, because even though they said April of next year, that just means it'll release before April of next year. But any time between now and April of next year is what they meant, I believe.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick fact check here. You can carry on.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's actually going to stop breaking news. I had one other story about Eon Gaming announcing a new original Xbox HDMI adapter. But I'm going to maybe save that one for later, because I'm actually pretty excited about that adapter, by the way, as someone who plays a lot of original Xbox. But
Ryan, you're right. Could arrive by March 2024. It's coming sooner than you think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they just said fiscal year.
Yeah,
and their fiscal year ends in March, so it'll arrive sometime before then. So I wouldn't count it out.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, again, if we don't see it at Ubisoft Forward, Sean, and it doesn't have a release date there, then yes, I'm inclined to agree.
My eyes are peeled on that, man, because is that not the Division team making that game?
The Division team.
Oh my gosh, give it to you. Also, shout out to anybody who has or wants to play the Division. We're gonna try and get this started. Okay, maybe even on PC, play the Division 2. Come on, Ryan, are you with us? Are you gonna play the Division with us?
No,
just absolutely.
Dude, Diablo 4 and Final Fantasy and Street Fighter.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do any of this stuff. I'm just dreaming big right now, Ryan. I'm just trying to live my life. Okay.
I haven't even gotten a chance to play James Cameron's Dark Angel yet. Okay. Actually, hold on. I should mention this as well. I might stream this tomorrow on the Twitch channel. Maybe.
Okay.
I have plans.
Please do. Let's jump into it. Yeah, let's do it.
I got to go get a haircut, and I'm on another podcast tomorrow. But other than that's my plans tomorrow.
All right. Open day, wide open.
Yeah. But anyways, let's let some of our friends into the car with us, Sean. It's time for the carpool. We're going to start with Court Lalone, who is, by the way, in the chat here. Court asks, in which games do you think will be shown at the PlayStation Showcase that will also be on Xbox?
It's PlayStation Showcase Day.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think there's going to be any.
Zero. You think zero?
Yes. I think that the games that they always pick for these PlayStation Showcases are games that are exclusive to PlayStation and are not coming to other platforms. They might come to Switch, maybe. Like we might see one or two Switch games here. That. But I don't think any games at this show.
None.
Now, mind you, if there are any, we'll talk about them on next week's show. Obviously, we'll talk about them in the news section there. But my personal prediction is there are none. Like any of those Konami games, I think they're exclusive to PlayStation. If we see Square Enix at all, none of those games will be on Xbox because, of course, it's Square Enix. Obviously, Sony first-party games are not going to be on Xbox. So, unless we get,
you might be onto something, dude, and it kind of just highlights the power of PlayStation right now, and like just everybody's having a great time over there. I think they could. I think because what is it? An hour? It's just over an hour. I think they heard 64 minutes, something like that. Nintendo 64 minutes. They could. They really could. I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to say 2. I think it's greater than 0. But I think it's totally possible. Like when you said the words, I'm like, well, you're a fascist. But I think it's possible.
Yeah, no,
I think it's possible.
I think that they when they curate these showcases and they make sure that these games are like
only for their showcase. Yeah.
Because like we're not going to see Call of Duty today because we know there's a new Call of Duty.
That's what I was starting to think about. Yeah.
Because that would be the one I would say
Same. That's where my mind went first.
Today. But
yeah, they do their own thing though. PlayStation's going to do. Yeah,
Call of Duty's going to do. I also don't think we're seeing Grand Theft Auto today either, which has been cropping up again. Court says Metal Gear in the chat, and there's
that'll be exclusive
about Metal Gear not being exclusive, but I'm actually pretty sure it's at least timed exclusive.
I think so too. Yeah. So that's a good clarification on this.
They won't even announce today that it's coming to Xbox, probably.
Yep, agreed.
Which, again, comes in my line of thinking that none of these games will be on Xbox. So, I would love to be wrong, because I would love to see kind of more games here. But
we're going to watch it together, Ryan. Shortly after this, you and I are jumping in.
Absolutely, it's going to be great.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Moving on, Nagachaka also has a question about this. Do you think that the PlayStation Showcase tomorrow will add even more pressure to Xbox's Showcase in June? What are you hoping / expecting from the Xbox Showcase in terms of formatting, news, and reveals? So I think part of this discussion, Sean, I think we're going to kind of save for at least week or two, because we haven't come up with when we're doing our predictions episode, but it'll be in the next week or two. It'll be before the showcase.
Yep.
And I usually like to do it as close to the showcase as possible, just in case something gets announced early or whatnot.
I like the far out predictions sometimes. Like let's do next year's predictions. Actually, when this is done, let's predict next year's
Xbox Showcase.
Yep, totally.
Excellent. But as far as this, yes, obviously this is going to put tremendous pressure on Xbox.
Big time.
This Xbox Showcase that's coming up in early June is really going to have to hit, because it sounds like there's going to be a lot of good stuff at this PlayStation one today. As far as reveals and stuff like that, I think again we'll see that our predictions episode. But what do we think about Nagachaka's question, Sean?
I think it assumes that PlayStation is going to crush it. I think most people are going to be listening to this after the PlayStation, so the PlayStation Showcase, so everybody knows what happens. But here we are in the present day, Ryan, present time. We don't know what happens, and we are anticipating in this moment, I think collectively as the internet anticipates this, that it's going to be amazing. It's been a long time since PlayStation has done anything like this. I think there's just been amazing momentum over there. They do think that you should make great games in order to win a console generation. Yep. So I'm excited to see how they play that card. So presuming that they kind of come through on that, there's obviously the chance that it could be bad. It could not be a good presentation, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is best case scenario, to be honest with you, for Xbox, for PlayStation to go first, to have a good show. And not that Xbox is going to make any sort of adjustments. I don't think. Maybe a tweak here or there. Maybe it's an ordering. But I imagine that their show is, for the most part, kind of done. Mm-hmm. But I think that this is better for Xbox to come in afterwards rather than to get walloped after the fact. Like if it were reversed, I actually think that would be worse off for Xbox.
I think so
yes,
too.
It puts pressure on, but still best case scenario somehow, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that pressure was already there after, everything else we've talked about with Xbox for the last couple months too. Like, this PlayStation Showcase just adds one more thing on that. Even if the PlayStation Showcase today isn't that great, I still think there will be enough good things here to at least, add a little bit of pressure to.
It's hard to talk about this without predicting, without saying like what's going to be there, what we expect to be there. But man,
we should
tip of my tongue, my friend. We'll save it. We'll save it. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Last question of the week. Thanks to ScheiGuy.
Thanks, ScheiGuy. Thank you, ScheiGuy.
ScheiGuy submits the final question of the show this week. Do you think Xbox's backs are really against the wall? Sony is clearly ahead of Microsoft in terms of sales numbers, but in your opinion, is the situation as dire as some internet headlines make it seem? Do you think Game Pass is enough to cover the lower hardware and software sales? And he makes some other notes, but I won't touch on them here. So what do you think about ScheiGuy's question? I personally think that obviously they're a little bit against the wall here, but I also think there's enough promising things that they've already shown us with Xbox in future where I'm not anticipating any danger in that, like some of the other headlines that we saw out there that ScheiGuy references here, or Mr. Badbit points out in the chat as well. Like, I don't think we're at that point yet. But I do think, there is some concern, and I do hope that, this showcase that's coming up really helps alleviate some of those concerns. But what do you think, Sean?
The situation is fluid, Ryan Turford. It's amazing how quickly things can rebound. I think a showcase can do a lot to do that, at least to instill some more trust. We need a game. There's nothing that we're at the state that we need a game release. I really wish we're now however many days away from Diablo. I wish Xbox was leaning into Diablo, way, way more. This is a huge, huge game. And I feel like there's nothing happening about this. You know what I mean? And I mean,
every Diablo commercial has the Xbox branding at the end of it.
That's it though. Like, I don't know. I feel like whenever PlayStation does this, it's better. Like whatever PlayStation does, and I hate saying this on an Xbox podcast, but like PlayStation just seems to, not only do they get the exclusives and that seems to work for them, but whenever they do this partnership with any third-party game that does come to Xbox as well, like when PlayStation does it, they crush it. They absolutely crush it. And I don't know. You're right. Maybe there's a logo at the end, but that's like saying that I watch an iPhone commercial and there's a TELUS Mobility logo at the end. Like you get it at Rogers and nobody in America knows what the heck we're talking about with our mobility, or an iPhone with a Sprint logo. Is Sprint still around? Is that still even a thing?
Sprint's still around, Sean.
Okay, Sprint. So like, but nobody cares about Sprint. You know what I'm saying? So like, just more like Diablo is it's going to be one of the biggest games of the year. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, Ryan. This is massive, and Xbox is nowhere. Oh, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with you that like PlayStation, when it comes to this kind of thing, they
get me controllers, get me custom consoles, get me like Game Pass deals. Do something like Xbox, for God's sakes.
I'm just gonna say it, Sean. I think the Activision deal, the fact that it's not done, plays a little bit into that.
I'm sure it does. I'm glad you said it.
Where maybe they can't go all in with Diablo, where they have the marketing deal, they have their logo at the end of it, but they can't go more than that. Like maybe there's.
I need to know more. I could see maybe why, but at the same time, like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about that, but you could be correct. But if that is the case, then find a game that you can go all in on. Like maybe it's not Street Fighter because Street Fighter 5 was on PlayStation only. I don't know. Find the next one, whatever the next one is. Come on, Xbox.
Yeah. There are people out there who actually think that Street Fighter 6 is actually a PlayStation exclusive game. So
right, you gotta work overtime to start to reverse some of these opinions and perceptions and things. Like I don't know, they're distracted. I can't help but think that they might be just distracted with this whole deal. That who knows, man. But is it over for Xbox? Absolutely not. No. Definitely not. They're generating this is such a lame thing to talk about, but as far as revenue generation goes, like they're doing fine. Yeah, they're doing good.
Yeah, they're not as good as PlayStation, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Like, they're not cutting the cord on that.
No,
but I need more Game Pass deals. Like I need something. I would like to, whether it's a day and date. Seems like that window has closed a little bit, Ryan. That might be a topic for conversation for the next couple of weeks. But where are our juggernauts? Where like even MLB The Show, when that first happened to Game Pass, it was like, what? That's on Game Pass? That's crazy. Like we need a couple more of those because I think we know the cadence of the first party releases to a certain extent. We know about Starfield. Forza is going to be coming out. We'll do our predictions soon enough, but you got to fill in those gaps with some big deal third party stuff into Game Pass, man. Come on, Xbox.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there, Sean. So Nate the Hate is a podcast I listen to. It comes out every once in a while, and Nate's kind of like an industry insider, and he's usually right about a lot of stuff. There was one day and date Game Pass release that he talked about on his podcast this week that got me very, very excited. That is apparently going to be announced at the Xbox Showcase. So if that comes to pass, again, we don't talk about rumors here, but if that does come up and it is true, then I think we might see more of that kind of thing and more of a return to that than you might, but sooner rather than later. Actually.
Armored Core 4,
not Armored Core 4, different game.
Baldur's Gate 3. That wouldn't be what you got excited about.
No, think about the most Ryan Turford game ever that could be coming out later this year, that from a Japanese publisher on Xbox. That might be day and date on Game Pass.
Dude, I don't even know. I'm scrolling through game titles here.
I'll tell you after the show. We won't talk about it yet.
Okay. Oh, Rune Factory 3.
No, we'll talk about it because I also like, if this, because this will be announced during the Xbox Showcase. So I kind of want us to be in the room together to
Okay.
Anyways, Sean, that's going to do it for this week's show. But before we go, Sean, plugs go.
We had a lot to talk about today, Ryan Turford. We had lots of games. You played that. You're playing with your marbles or whatever. But if you like, you can let me know if you've enjoyed anything that we've been talking about today. Find me on Twitter at Sean Capri, at Sean like Connery Capri, like the pants. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live. It's a lot of characters. And that's it. You can join ScheiGuy. ScheiGuy did the great thing. Joined us on patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. Thank you, ScheiGuy. You're a hero. We love gold. And I think that's it for me, my friend.
Very nice, my friend. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. You can also find us on Twitter at Carpool Gaming, right here on YouTube, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, on podcast services around the globe. So for Sean Capri, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 292 of the Xbox Drive. It's a palindrome episode, my friends, and we're out.
I was thinking for this part of the segment that I would bring up my PC Gamer magazine with a feature on Diablo, and I would read as much as possible as for this without taking a breath. Okay, the first sentence starts with all these years, 20 years worth of Diablo stories bring us to the start of Diablo 4, which makes it ironic to understand the Diablo 4 story. Okay, I'm out of breath. Okay, everybody, I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.